we're going to talk a little bit about Module 5, which is becoming known. Now, part of becoming known is by doing all the other things, especially getting to know people, you are going to naturally become known. But there's so much more you can do. And again, this just depends on how aggressive you want to be with your career. If you want to have a huge career and be a big star, hey, you're going to be a busy person. You're going to have public appearances, all that stuff. It's really up to you guys. It really is. I mean, you look around in Hollywood, not everyone is gorgeous. In fact, a lot of the gorgeous people don't last very long because when you're that attractive, when you stand out so much for your looks, it's very hard for you to be believable in a lot of roles. Maybe more so for guys, because obviously when a girl is beautiful, they enhance her beauty through makeup and clothing. And so, yeah, I mean, beautiful women can be dressed down, but then part of the appeal, I guess, of women in general in movies, at least in American movies, is that they are attractive. So, whatever, that's a different topic. What they should be doing with women, we can get into that some other time. But how big of an actor and how big of a career you want to have is really up to you. Because once you have the talent and the skills, then it's just a question of becoming known, because your skills and your talent will be in demand. Okay? There is no doubt about it. It will be in demand if you can show that you've got the goods. So let's just talk about, in general, what becoming known is all about. All right, so just think of it in terms of other people, okay? Think of movie stars that you've never heard of, and all of a sudden they're doing a big movie. For instance, you've got a recent instance that I can think of would be Rooney Mara. Now, she actually had done a couple of movies, had been the lead. She was in Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake. Actually, a friend of mine's dad, he's the sheriff on Nightmare on Elm Street, the original ones. John Saxon, really nice guy. So Rooney signed up and did Nightmare on Elm Street for, I believe it was $20,000, okay, for the whole movie. That was her whole salary. So, you think people are getting big money? They're not to begin with. So don't be too greedy, guys. Getting paid at all for your acting is a huge privilege, and it shows how much people value you, that they pay you at all. Because there are a lot of actors who will work for free, but most of them aren't good because they haven't done their work. So, okay, so back to Rooney Mara. So obviously she hadn't done much. All of a sudden she gets Nightmare on Elm Street because they're always looking for new talent. So if you're young, you always have a shot at the leading roles because there just aren't enough established people at that age. Obviously, there's sort of a bell curve, okay, for acting. And in the middle, you have the ages of, probably 20 to 40. That's where most of the roles are. In fact, you know what? It might even be a little older. Although Tom Cruise has been a huge star for most of his life. I mean, he's now 47, 48 or whatever he is. And he's still the lead and he can still do all the physical stuff. Although his body looked really weird in Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. I don't know, like something strange is going on with his body. But anyway, so whatever. And, Brad Pitt, he's in the upper ages of his career. And who's coming up behind them? I don't know. I'm trying to think of the 30-somethings that are the big stars right now. You got Jeremy Renner, but he's certainly no action star. Yeah, I don't know. So, point being that you can come out of nowhere and become very well known because people are coming and going all the time. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Often when people get an Oscar, that's almost the sound of the death knell for their careers. I mean, look at Hilary Swank. She has won 2 Oscars and you never see her outside of that. I mean, it seems, although she's in a unique position, I guess, because she plays sort of boy roles quite well.